Oh, John, you got this one down low on the megabytes there. That is nice.
Well, I mean, it's just a compressed PDF. That's not unusually small.
But all the images and stuff look good.
Yeah. I mean, that's the normal digital PDF.
Yeah, that looks way better, Joe. Looks way better.
He's listening. Don't tell him that.
Yeah, never.
What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna go here, and then there, and then over to here.
How do it? Oh man,
What happened?
I miss real estate, screen real estate.
Yeah.
All right.
That will make it tricky.
Oh, you said you got the stream going, Tom?
Stream's going. Yeah. Tweets are out.
Tweets are out. Facebook posts are out. We're about to have a flood of people watching us all at the same time, so be careful.
Yes. Apparently, some of my children's friends have been watching the podcast.
Well, you know, my kids watch, which is disturbing.
Yeah. Now I know that.
My kids too, for some reason.
Yeah, see, that's not good, man.
We
got to get our numbers up somehow, right?
That's true.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew truth while y'all brocks on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go.
Did it go out like that?
Forgot to set the priority on my OBS stream.
All right, do it again.
No.
Stop sharing your screen, please.
No.
Thank you. Whew. I mean, you can share your screen. Don't share it the way you were sharing it.
You ready?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I don't feel like I'm talking to anything. Where's my microphone? Okay. You're listening to episode 265 of PHPUgly. I'm your host, Eric Van Johnson, and with me is John Congdon.
Not echoing as bad as you are. Wow, that came out horrible.
And time right up.
Hi.
Am I echoing?
A little bit. You're in an empty house. What do you expect?
I am in a empty house. Like, not as empty as I want it to be. I still have some emptying to do, but pretty empty. Did you guys see the video of the Mars tracker taking away my house today? Or the Mars rover?
No.
I did not.
Oh, you guys hit up my Twitter. Twitter.com/Shokum. This guy came out. So I had one of those pods delivered to my house to fill up. And this guy came out and totally controlled this thing with a remote control to pick up this. It was over 4,000 pounds, so over 2 tons. And he just backed it out of my driveway and started going down the street with it, walking behind it. I'll put it in the show notes for people listening to the podcast.
That's pretty impressive.
It was pretty cool, yeah. I had to run into my house. Like, I saw him walking. Yeah, I saw he had the case with him, and then he starts walking it out of my driveway. I'm like, oh shit! Let me go get my phone. I gotta get this.
Definitely looks like the kind of guy who would have that specific job of just remote managing some robot moving heavy loads.
Yeah. It was so quick. Like, we didn't even have to be here. Like, I made sure I was home because I didn't know the protocol. I didn't know if I had to sign papers or what. He pulled up in his truck, had it hooked up, and was walking down the street in a matter of like 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops. It was crazy.
I had a friend who was a repo man, and he was like that, but with cars. he had a truck with a hidden tow hook on it, so the thing would come out of the bed of the truck and under the car, and it took him about 45 seconds to just take off with a car.
Yeah, I've seen those guys on TV. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just been grinding away at packing the house. I tell you, I will be honest with you. I'm getting up there in age, but I never considered it. Like, I always felt like I was always one of those people who were young at heart. Yeah, I'm feeling my age, man. I mean, I am feeling my age. I like everything on my body hurts right now from all this packing and all this moving. It's just everything hurts.
Well, you haven't moved in a long time.
And I do recall one of your good friends telling you, hire movers.
I think I said that every couple minutes, a couple episodes ago. When I moved out here to Colorado Springs, we told ourselves, like, absolutely, this is the last time we're moving ourselves. We're never doing this again.
That's exactly what the wife and I have been talking about. And as heavy as that pod was, I still have a significant amount of stuff here at the house, which, because of my situation, I'm living under bridges for the next 3 weeks. I have to put in a storage unit. And I am now thinking, yeah, when it does come time to move into the new house, maybe I'll get some movers to just move stuff at this point. Like, yeah. Because I feel like I'm gonna be moving it twice. I got to move it to the storage unit, then move it from the storage unit to the house. It's like, no, I think I'm gonna get movers for that second part.
Yeah, it's a situation you're in. I mean, it's not like you can help that. You're gonna move twice, whether you do it or you have somebody help you with it.
Yeah.
And it's not like this is coal miners ugly. We're not a very physical profession.
I do want to say, I got a little giddy this past week. I'm not giddy. I just humbled, honored, very honored. You know how many friends and people who work with me have stepped up and offered to let me stay at their place or let me podcast from their place or help me move. Me. Yeah, right. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. But a listener who knows the general area I'm moving to and lives in that area. And if they want to make themselves known, hi, Elio. If they want to make themselves known, they can let themselves be known. I won't call them out because, but a listener said, hey, man, I live by where you're going to live. If you're doing temporary housing around that area, I've already talked to the wife. You're more than welcome to come over here and podcast from my place. I'm like,
wow.
Oh nice. My God, dude, that is so. But unfortunately, we're not doing temporary housing by the house we're moving to because the bridges are much sturdier here in San Diego, so they're wider. There's more room for everybody underneath. And the wife works remote from home for a medical facility that does all this high-end imaging transfer. It needs a very thick pipe to push these images through. So because of the situation, they're actually setting her up in their office, which is located down here in San Diego. So we have to stay down here in San Diego so she can keep doing that gig. But I was very honored that somebody would say, "Hey, I'm opening my house to you if you want it." So
that's very cool.
Yeah. So thank you. You know who you are, and I appreciate it.
Not a thick pipe, secure, strong Wi-Fi.
Isn't that the same thing?
Depends on who you're talking to, I guess.
So you have
what else been going?
You have a bridge selected.
Depends. I got to see, but yeah. Actually, the family are they're huddled under the bridge tonight. They went ahead of me. I wanted to podcast, and so we're playing a game here. We're going to see how long I can podcast before the internet actually gets shut off. So it should be fun. But
when do you actually have to be out of the house?
I think the contract says 6 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay. So this weekend to get stuff done.
Right. So that's we're pretty. I mean, I'm like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
The nice thing is you don't have to deal with the endless cleaning of a security deposit too.
Yeah,
you just walk away.
Yeah.
That everybody keeps saying is like, you're doing too much. Just don't worry about that. I mean, I have the junkers coming tomorrow. I paid for this company to come out to haul off all the junk that we have that we couldn't get rid of. And people are like, no, just let the new people handle that. I'm like, no, this is not like an abandoned house.
I still have crap up in above my garage, like in the rafters above my garage, from the previous owners.
Well, that's some of the stuff the junkers are taking. We still have stuff. We still have stuff in this house from the previous people, and I'm like, I can't. I mean, I'm still not happy with how
now it's an heirloom.
Yeah, that old roach thing is an heirloom.
Antiques.
Yeah.
Oh man, I never want to move again. I don't.
It's almost over. Almost done.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I'm not moving this week because I'm sick. I managed to I managed to be sick for the last 2 days and just feel like total crap.
Aren't you like constantly sick?
Yes.
That's not good.
It's starting to get annoying.
I got my booster.
Yeah?
Nice. Yeah. We got my boosters. The wife and I got our boosters. So
we've got ours. Both of our kids are done as well.
Nice.
The one request our kids had, the first thing they wanted to do post-vaccination, they want to go to SeaWorld.
Oh, watch the animal torture?
No, we're not doing that. We're going to ride rides. It sucks that they come hand in hand. Like, I can't get a ticket just to go ride rides. I have to get a ticket for riding rides and the animal torture, but it happens. He brought it up. I didn't say it. He said it. Calm down. Don't get mad at me. He got mad at me.
Speaking of the internet just randomly going out on you, do you guys have fun with AWS East just disappearing this week?
So
no, it didn't hit us too badly. We noticed it, but it didn't hit us too badly.
So we have a very tiny client that hasn't paid us any money, but I still do work for him, and I still don't know why that is. But they had one of their SSL certificates was expiring, and they asked me to look at it. I looked at it the day before and was like, oh, an email was sent to your hostmaster ad or your admin ad or whatever the standard ones are. they emailed me that morning saying that they think they got to figure it out. They wanted me to hit the button again to resend the verification. The morning that AWS was down, so I could not log into their console. I could not log in to get to their certificates. So it was a pain in the butt. But for the most part, everything we deal with is not in the East Coast zone.
So we don't have a lot of stuff hosted on the East Coast zone except for our deployment pipeline. So all of our CI/CD stuff went down.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently Atlassian had just recently moved to AWS East, and then this happened. So had an interesting day of stuff just not going out the door until all of a sudden. And the AWS status page was no help.
No, it was not. It kept saying it was all green for the longest time.
Yeah. And it was like, yeah, no, everything's fine. We got no problems. I don't know what your problem is.
It's because they use status page, which is probably hosted on the East Coast of AWS.
I feel like this is going to be a short episode in sort of response for last week's 2-hour Thanksgiving extravaganza.
That was a long episode.
That was a great episode. That was one of my favorite episodes.
It was okay. So it was a great episode, but the listeners need to understand when I check for how long we've been running, I pull up Zencastr because it tells us straight up how long we've been recording for. And so I got to a point where I felt like, hey, we're running into our normal exit period. I pull up Zencastr and it says 32 minutes. I said, we must just really be clicking. Like it must just feels like time's flying by, but it's actually not. And what I didn't know until we had stopped recording was that Eric forgot to turn on Zencastr for the first 25 minutes or so. So we were absolutely hitting that normal out period we would have hit. And then we went for another hour.
Yeah,
and
I was doing the same thing.
Nobody noticed. Nobody noticed at all.
We didn't get a deluge of Twitter comments that were like, hey, guys, really, really put in the work on this one.
You really did not have to make up the time that you took off for Thanksgiving. We're fine.
Blame JetBrains, man. It's all JetBrains' fault. They're the ones that decided to release a flurry of products, and then Nikita and Foundations, and a lot of shit went down that week, man. That was probably the busiest week in PHP in years, and we took that week off. That was awesome.
They planned it that way.
It feels like they did.
But bigger news than Nikita, excuse me. Bigger news than Nikita leaving JetBrains and the foundation being created. We're on the cusp of releasing our 3rd issue of PHP Architect magazine.
Nice.
Oh yes,
we've got it. We're doing internal review of it now. I've got a few more things I got to tweak because I forgot some things. Thank you, Carolyn, for pointing those out. We should get it to our columnists tomorrow so they can review their articles and then hopefully get it out the door tomorrow.
This is going to be a fun one. There's something special in this one. So
it's a little bit different.
A little different. Shaking things up some. A little shake and bake for December.
This issue has a centerfold. It's an elephant.
With a very long trunk.
You had to go there, didn't you?
I feel weird because we had so much to go over last week, and then I looked at what was going on this week, and everyone was like, oh, we're too tired to release or do anything. I'm done with it. It feels like everyone has checked out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I've been in box taping hell for the past week. I've done very little of anything, and I felt bad. But as you recall, last week I talked about what a great job our team at PHPDev was doing migrating one of our clients to the newest Laravel. That got pushed to production, and of course, despite going 6 months and begging for testing and trying to find all the edge cases and stuff, you never find them. You're never completely covered. And the entire team, I'm not gonna say they worked on it 24/7, but they worked a lot of hours on it from Monday to Tuesday, and then a little bit yesterday, I think, as well. But they got the thing pushed into production finally. I'm so excited. You know what that means?
What?
Livewire. Livewire's coming, baby.
Oh,
Not only did they get it pushed to production, the client who has absolutely no issue reaching out to you specifically and saying, Eric, what's the status? What's going on? What's this? What's that? Didn't reach out to you once to ask that. The team had it handled.
Biggest compliment I could have given our lead developer on that one. I'm like, hey, we have a little private channel that we the three of us talk, and that's away from all the other traffic. And I'm like, hey, man, just want to let you know there was a lot of back and forth on this upgrade and this and that and the other thing. Not once did the client reach out to me directly. I never heard from the client. Like, had I not been following along and talking and asking for updates and everything, I would have had no idea that there was even an issue. It was very nice. It was good because this team has been working on this project for years. And I mean, literally, one of the people on the project used to work for our client. I mean, that's how long, that's how deep ingrained with this project they are. And it's always been a little bit of it seemed like a little bit of a trust issue of trust the team, trust the process. They know what they're doing. There's a process involved. Let them do their work. And I felt like this was the first time that was done, and it really felt good. And it even felt better to see it succeed. Like, it would have sucked if it had not succeeded. But the process, the process.
I was questioning it there for a while. Like, are they going to pull the rug on us and like ask for a rollback? But we got it.
Yeah, and that's another thing. This client is very quick to the trigger of, hey, there's too much going on, roll it back. It's like, no, we can work through this. No, roll it back. That's typically the back and forth we have. And it was really weird because one of the bigger issues we had was with mobile devices. And my understanding of what it boiled down to was how the new Laravel was handling some routes, or how it was, I think one of the problems was how it was handling routes. And I think another problem was how it was returning variables. Like, it wasn't, previously it didn't matter. It would just always return everything as a string, but now it was returning things as integers or a string. And so the mobile device was having problems.
Did we upgrade PHP at the same time? Or was it just Laravel?
I'm pretty sure it was just Laravel, because I thought this was going to get us on PHP 8, because I thought that was the minimum requirement for the current Laravel. But if I remember correctly, they were like, no, we don't need to do that yet. And because everything's a container, that's going to be pretty easy to do. We just have to upgrade the container.
Yeah, the reason I ask that, the one Trello card I have is, again, the PHP 8.1 changes. And we've talked about it before. We've gone through a lot of the 8.1 changes. One of the tiny things that's in there that isn't being called out, and on Stitcher it's under the other small changes, is a change to PDO. And actually, Laravel probably shouldn't experience this. If you're using Doctrine, you won't experience it, but the main project I work on uses a very legacy database database layer, where you expect to get everything back as a string. And the latest version of PDO will return the proper type. So your integer IDs come back as an int instead of a string. Hundreds of tests blew up. just upgrading to 8.1 because of that.
I wonder if that's related to this issue, this GitHub issue for Laravel that got aggressively declined.
What's that? Link,
So
link,
I
please.
I normally
don't think
pull
the bot's
through.
on, by the way.
Yeah, because somebody couldn't get my desktop running, by the way.
I still don't understand what's going on there.
I know, I'm very frustrated.
So, wait, before you go, Tom, Eric gave me his computer. I bring it in, I plug it in, I hook a monitor up. I get nothing on the monitor. I hook Ethernet up. I think I got a few flashes on my router that there was a connection. I know how to turn a computer on, and there should be something on the screen, and there's just not. I just cannot figure out what's. I've tried different cables, HDMI and DisplayPort, and I cannot get this thing to work. I think
It doesn't help that
broken machine.
The workstation has like 15 different display ports on the back of it because it has a GPU and it's got a ton of.
Oh, do you have a GPU in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do
So
you.
he's been plugging it into the motherboard instead of the GPU. I know how to turn a computer on, he says.
So here's the thing. When he was talking, he was having this problem. I was going to joke with him. I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk to you like with a support text. Is the computer on? Is this plugged in?
Does the mouse still have the wrapper on it?
All right. To be clear, it's still not giving me anything on the monitor, but at least I have something to look at next.
Okay. yeah, that's a GPU. That's a pretty hunky GPU, I might add.
That is hilarious. I never even thought to look for.
And I was so excited about using JetBrains Gateway and all these other tools that I spent the previous week testing it at home and even testing it through SSH connection through Cloudflare just to make sure that there were no issues. I'm like, yeah, this all works great. I can't wait. And I'm like, I'm on my MacBook again, my old MacBook, which I haven't used in a couple of years. I'm like, I'm not even gonna install the repo on this machine. I don't care. I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna use my desktop. Yeah, that was a mistake.
He's like, John, did you plug it in yet? I'm like, yeah, I plugged it in. I can't get it to work. Oh man, now I feel stupid.
Yeah,
I feel stupid once you get it working, but yeah, I'm worried that there's something wrong with it. I don't know. I haven't had the thing really off in a couple of years.
It seems like user error in this case.
I feel like it is. But the user's John. That shouldn't be the problem, but I don't know.
I'm feeling like it's easier.
You know those college guys who can never figure out how to turn the projector on, but they can give you a sine wave calculation for something?
Yeah.
You had to say college.
Yeah.
My buddy sent me a news story. Did you hear about some kid wanting to go Columbine on a school? Just recently?
This week or last week?
Somebody
I don't know.
last
week
week.
Before.
Like any week. I don't know when this actually happened, but I'm listening to the story. I'm actually with my kids at their school for something, but they're off doing something else, and he sends me the story and I'm listening. I'm like, this is scary. And then I get to the end. It was at the college I went to in Daytona Beach.
Wow, that's crazy.
Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona. That's scary.
So I got a question for you guys. Well, I got a funny thing for you guys. I don't want to give away too much, but did you guys know that computers could have feelings? And apparently those feelings could get hurt and they could go to HR?
I don't know about the HR part.
What
did you do to your computer?
I heard I heard this story recently from a very trusted source who I have no reason to question them.
It was me telling him that his computer is mad at him and won't boot up.
They work in a hospital, and the nurses have these computers that are on these carts that they push around, right? So
Yeah,
they push
they're
them from room to room.
They're like a MacBook Pro from 15 years ago, and they're $100,000.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. They call them cows, computers on wheels. So they'll say, "Hey, I need a cow," or "Have you seen the cow?" Well, they got a notice from the HR department that was an offensive term, and they are no longer allowed to refer to them as cows. I'm like, offensive to who? The computer? Or to the cow?
No.
Like, are cows being
I could
offended?
in a hospital, I could easily see that going south so fast.
Well,
You get a larger person walking into the ER and say, "Pull the cow in here."
It probably didn't help that this was in the paternity ward, so maybe that might have factored into it a little bit. But still, it was like, it's
the paternity ward known for its emotionally stable responses.
so now they have to call them WOWs, workstations on wheels. They're called WOWs. I thought that was very funny when I heard that. I'm like, who's being offended by this?
Cow.
We talked about this a while back, and I want to revisit it.
I don't think Eric heard me.
He did. He's moving on.
Okay.
Try to move on. We talked about this. There's a service out there that I really want to use, and I have yet to actually use it because of the struggles I have with my existing applications. And this is something that I've struggled with before. So we've talked about in the past Planet Scale, which is this database as a service sort of solution out there. It's very slick. It does scaling for you. It manages load. It's really a lot of what I want in a database as a solution sort of
database as a service, right? Yeah.
Database as a service solution, yeah. The problem it has is this is the service that doesn't allow foreign key constraints. And this is funny because I have gone through this particular battle myself. I'm not a huge fan of foreign key constraints, but I understand their purpose, and I do in Laravel like the idea of cascading deletes. Like, if this record gets deleted, everything that's associated with this record gets deleted. And I do like how easy foreign key constraints make that. I still don't think I understand why they don't support foreign key constraints, but that's irrelevant. They don't support them. What are your two thoughts on foreign key constraints? Is this a showstopper for you, or would you be willing to work through that?
We've talked about this before. As far as trying to take up a database as a service, I would want to know kind of why. I'm sure there's some sort of scalability issue with it, but I'm the same way. I like knowing that the data is consistent. I like the cascading deletes, cascading updates to a point, which I don't really use that often, but that's an option as well. I use foreign keys all the time. I mean, that's kind of the point of a relational database is you don't have, you have this relationship between your tables.
Well, but this is enforcing that relationship, right? I mean, you still have, even if you don't use foreign key constraints, you still have the relationship. It's not being enforced.
It's not enforced, and I like the data consistency. I don't want to be able to put something into a table that can't be there.
Such a good point. Yeah.
It's the orphan keys that are the orphan records that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
See, and I think we don't do a good job of doing transactions, at least in my experience with all of the projects I've been involved in. Transactions are an afterthought. I personally use transactions when I have to versus using them the way they should be used.
So we have John, the smart John in Discord, dug up the planet scale documents on operating without foreign key constraints, and I'm comfortable operating without them. This is also a big concept around schemaless databases, document stores, things like CouchDB. You still can define these relationships, but the way you manage it is very different, and it doesn't get managed by the server itself, which is one of the benefits of a foreign key constraint in a relational database. So let me.
I will tell you, when I work on stuff that has operational functionality above all else, uptime above all else, I don't use foreign key constraints.
Wait, you don't use foreign key constraints in those situations?
Right.
Why is that?
Because foreign key constraints fail.
Do they?
Well,
Sure.
I mean, if you go to insert into a table where a foreign key constraint is required.
I see. I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I worked at an adult entertainment company where uptime mattered much, much more than anything else.
Orphan records didn't matter.
Yeah, no one even thought of orphan records. No one cared whatsoever. You could do things backwards if you wanted to, where you created the child object first and then the parent object, and like no one cared about that stuff. Not
Just
that
get
that's
the data in the database.
Yeah, not that that's good programming, but it was one less thing to ever have to worry about. Now I work in a financial technology industry, and I have foreign key constraints on every single thing that I do. I've always got a foreign key constraint. I've always got a foreign key index. Everything has to be above board, no orphan records, no possibility of lost data like that.
And you're probably using transactions left and right.
Yeah, all over the place. It's a very accuracy-oriented environment.
I remember being in college learning about transactions, or learning in quotes, because I was a terrible student and didn't pay attention to anything. And I wish I would have paid attention more to understand what was happening.
From an aviation college where you're learning to fly. I'm happy you didn't have a lot of focus. That makes me feel good.
I focused in the classes where I had to learn to fly. I cared about that.
Yes. It's the situations where computer crashes had victims that he didn't pay attention.
I don't know how I got away with a CS degree. I went there for a CS degree, but I was terrible in my classes, and luckily I had good friends there.
Good friends who knew how to cheat.
The guy who says he's terrible with a CS degree. Thank you.
He's a people person. What part of that don't you people understand?
I make stuff work. It works. I'm an okay coder. Not great.
I'm not. I'm coming to grips.
I don't think you're going to get anybody arguing with you, John. You should probably move on.
Try and save me. Oh man.
You know what would really have been helpful during that AWS outage?
What would that be?
Honey Badger transforms you into a DevOps hero by combining error, uptime, and cron monitoring into a single, easy-to-use platform. Stop wasting your time tailing logs and deploy with Swagger. Visit honeybadger.io today to level up.
Thank you, Honey Badger.
Thank you, Honey Badger.
Thank you, Honey Badger.
I think next month we get to talk about something new Honey Badger has going.
Oh, really?
Oh, look who's giving away the spoilers this time. It wasn't even me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm not giving it away. I'm just pay attention to what maybe next week, maybe next month. I'm not sure. We're still talking about it.
Pretty soon. Next week will be next month and next year for that matter. I'll be in a new house.
I like what they got going. We need to talk more about that, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna talk. I was saying, wonder if we can get in on this before we start advertising it.
So
we
then,
need to
on
get
the
a
ground
feel
floor.
for this.
I at least know it's not a cron monitoring service then, since you guys aren't upset about it.
That's true. Well, they actually already have that, so.
Back to what I was saying. When I prep for the podcast, I go through the top stories of the week on Reddit. PHP web dev, Laravel, stuff like that. And the PHP subreddit gives me some stuff, gives me some concise news and articles. The Laravel one it's just sort of a circle jerk. And the web dev one is like people's portfolios. But sometimes, web tech stuff comes up. But I was surprised today when I pulled up the Laravel subreddit, and the top post was Laravel framework tickets being closed in a hurry, and a link to a contentious issue ticket that basically said, hey, if you rename a timestamp call and it converts it to date time from timestamp, that's a pretty big bug. And the ticket just got closed, saying, hey, it looks like you're looking for help. Here's the help system. And yeah.
Wait. So if you rename the column, it changes the type?
Yeah, from date time to timestamp.
Is that real though?
Well,
What?
It turns
I don't
out
understand how that's even true. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
it looks like this might be a doctrine related issue,
Hold
but
on.
boy, it is.
Can we pause for a moment? I just love. Is it the same person? Let me see. Yeah, it's the same person. So they closed the ticket. I love the submitter's response. This isn't a question. This isn't a question. It's a bug.
I'm issuing a bug. This isn't a question. It gets real salty from there.
I don't see the question. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of
So, well,
everybody's response.
yeah, because the issuer said this isn't a question, it's a bug, and then someone after that said, I fail to see the question. And someone after that says, I don't see a question here either. And eventually Taylor had to get involved and say, like, hey, I'll take head of this, and DeVries,
yeah. That's funny. So he does apologize.
He does apologize.
I apologize if I handled this poorly initially. It's funny because I was going to come to his defense saying, I bet you it's a bot that they have, that looks for certain things. I've seen that before in repos where they've assigned these bots, and if it thinks it's a question or something, its first response is to do that. But no, he takes ownership over it. So I mean, give the guy credit for that.
Yeah, and so that's sort of where the Reddit conversation devolved into, is that Laravel has become obsessed with these zero open issues stuff. And so people are getting boilerplate responses for, hey, this is issues, not support. Here's how you get support for Laravel, and not really looking at what the actual issue is.
Well, they've been criticized of that in the past.
Yes.
There was a long run of the way they were handling tickets in the past as well.
To be fair, this is not a Laravel thing. I get that through business all the time. Write in to ask a question, get boilerplate response that has nothing to do with my question, just because that customer service person wanted to close the ticket and be done with it.
Sure.
It is frustrating.
But it was interesting to see the subreddit, the Laravel subreddit, so salty over things that I don't usually see covered in the Laravel subreddit.
A salty subreddit? No, stop it.
And one of the top comments is, I love Laravel and the community, but it's literally a cult LMAO. Like,
That is true.
Yeah, it's got its moments.
Definitely true.
I cannot support that statement. I'm not arguing it. I'm just saying I can't support it.
Yeah, you don't have the bandwidth to deal with that right now. Literal bandwidth. We've got, what, 45 minutes left?
Oh, man.
All right, I have a question for you guys. I had somebody reach out to me on Twitter asking me how you handle merging branches in GitHub. Do you use merge and rebase or just a merge?
I just merge.
I mean,
I don't.
So here's their comment. Been struggling with a good flow to merge feature branches into a remote dev branch in GitHub using merge and rebase, then promoting dev to QA branch using merge and rebase. I'm always running into a merge conflict.
We have a QA branch that we flush and rebuild from dev.
Really? That's
Yeah, we actually because the QA will have all the feature testing in it, so we'll have dev, which is active undeployed but approved code, and then QA will build a new branch off of dev and merge in the ticket they want to test. But I mean, really blowing the whole branch away and rebuilding it is easier than dealing with when Git has actual issues.
Yeah, Joe's saying squash and merge. I was a big proponent of squash and merge for a long time with one of our clients, to the point where once you choose that in GitHub, it kind of becomes your default, and that's what you do.
Mm.
But there are issues with that because now your commits have changed versus what is local. And there are issues with reverting or merging back into your feature branch.
Well,
I'm not saying that quite clearly enough, and I don't remember the exact details, but squash and merge, while it's great, also has drawbacks.
I have a buddy who will take all of his feature commits and squash them into a single commit that he documents really well at the end of the development lifecycle, which I think is crazy.
Why is that crazy? I mean, if you're doing like a storyboard or something, that makes sense to me.
It's so much work.
It's not that much work.
I agree with you there.
What? Wait. What's so much work? A rebase? An interactive rebase takes seconds to do, depending on how.
Until that one time when it takes 2 days.
No, stop it. Then you're doing it wrong.
Yes, of course I'm doing it wrong.
I've become a huge fan of rebase onto versus just a straight interactive rebase, which theoretically should be the same, but where you can be very specific about, I want to go from this commit to that commit, and it's going to go onto this branch or onto this, usually onto the develop branch. And I've had very, very few issues doing it that way. Now, when I just do a git rebase -I, sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But using
this is where Mercurial did things so well, and I really wish I could still use it sometimes.
How do we get on Mercurial?
Well, because you didn't. So I work on 3 tickets at once sometimes, or some days, where just to switch tickets, I have to commit a work in progress or a stash commit, and
or use PHP Storm and just shelve it and move on.
I have had bad luck with that.
Really? I use it all the time.
Well, Mercurial automatically did that. Mercurial, the directory was the current working directory for the branch you were on. So when you switched branches, it just wrapped the whole thing up and tucked it away as an in progress but open branch. So you didn't have to commit everything every time.
Your kids are killing me, Eric.
What's that other? We talked about it once on the show. Sarah Goldman says that they use it all the time, where you get the whole repo and all the branches, and you switch directories. Like each branch is like a directory or something. What's that called?
Yeah, that was Mercurial.
No, it's you can do it with Git. Come on, help me out here. What it's called? Not a tree, not a working tree. Oh, I'll have to find this now. Shit. Come on, Discord, help me out.
It's a Git thing?
It's a Git thing. So it doesn't seem to. I don't know. I think it's more designed for. It's more designed for like languages you have to compile. Oh, geez, I gotta remember what this thing. I'll find it. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna find it.
So I don't think you are. I think you're making it up as we go.
I want to know, and I'm sure the listeners want to know, what is our schedule for the rest of this year with Eric living under a bridge and the holiday season.
He's proving right now that his computer works just fine. We don't need professional quality because we are PHPUgly. We will not do a PHP podcast like this. We will have to figure something else out. We will not do PHP Roundtable this way. We will not do PHP internal. Wait, what? This way.
Don't even go down that path.
Won't do Roundtable this way. What was the other one you bought?
We're not buying things. We're talking about. Joe caught it. Joe heard you.
But it was a joke. I was trying to get Eric to do it, but he said no.
I am out of bandwidth, man. I am running on fumes right now.
I'm trying to get you some bandwidth.
You're doing a good job. I got to be honest. John has made this past couple weeks as comfortable as possible.
Yes, alcohol makes an excellent lubricant.
Work tree. It's called a work tree. It is a tree. So get work tree. You guys need to look into Git work trees. I want to figure out how to do this. I'll put this in the show notes for people listening. Oh, I just lost it. Where's that? Oh, here it is. I'll put it in the show notes for people listening.
Oh, see, I looked it up and it immediately put me onto the Git homepage with that terrifying light brown or olive. That whenever I see it, I just go, "No, it's going to be too complicated. I don't want to read it."
What? I don't know. Git work tree.
It's got what, like 2 pages of example or 2 pages of options, and then 1 example.
Yeah, this is a lot, isn't it? But the idea is that every branch becomes like this directory, and you switch between the branches. Oh, that was my issue with doing this. Now I remember. So the way I have my Devil box set up,
clapping.
We had to, the Devil box you have to tell it where your web root is, and I was trying to figure out how to do that with work trees, and we actually had some listeners through Discord give me some suggestions to do that. I just haven't had the opportunity to try it. Git work trees. That's going to be something I look into, and I think this is one of those hidden features in Git that nobody talks about, and I think it seems very powerful to me. I don't know why more people aren't using it.
Well, you know who we should be clapping for? Our patrons.
That was a great segue.
That was awesome.
Whoa, look at this.
Look how gorgeous that is.
That is beautiful.
Can people hear us, though? Do you have our sound?
I was thinking the same thing, but he does have it on there.
Okay.
Do I have what?
our voices, our sound. You've done this before, where you forgot to add our voices to the scene.
Well, there. Now our voices and our videos are on the scene.
Thank you. Oh, that's even better. But yeah, no, we don't need to be there. Just kidding. That's crazy.
I see we had one person drop and then Charlton came on. That's nice of him.
It's good to have listeners who will back us up when someone drops.
Yeah. That's right. The Charlton guy, he was a jerk. So Charlton just popped on there, took over. We have another Eric.
The way it should be.
I think this is our first Eric on Patreon. Got a couple family members on there.
Yes, I have no family members that will back me this way.
The first Eric, but not the first Van Johnson.
Yeah, man.
That's funny.
That's very, very pretty, Eric. Excellent work.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Honey Badger, for supporting us.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Darling Data, for giving Eric some props on this one. How did you create that? That was it's very nice.
Stupid service we pay for, man. I tell you, that thing's awesome. We need to do our complete book or magazine layout for that service, man. It's really proving itself to me.
Stop. Carolyn's doing a great job. Caroline, you're not.
Yeah. You know who's replaceable?
I wasn't talking about replacing.
Merry Christmas.
The software is what I was talking about replacing.
I don't know if this makes it any better or not. You said it, not me.
The software.
What are you talking about? The software.
Instead of using it in InDesign, we should be using this other service. It's so much better. It's so much easier. Even I can do stupid, cool things like that.
I suppose.
Do you know what service I'm talking about?
I think so, but don't say it because they're not sponsors. I'm just saying.
No, that's why I'm not saying it. But yes, that service.
We're big enough now where we can say that. Like,
yeah, no, we've gotten real huge. What's our current viewer count? 4?
4, 6,
4. Like, yeah, we got all of Eric's kids listening, so we're up to at least 12.
They don't all know about each other, so shh.
Oh, sorry.
7 watching right now.
Ooh, jeez.
That is impressive.
We're getting north of triple digits on watching our videos too. So that's no small thing. Just saying. How many people are on our YouTube channel? What? Wow. Actually, I'm actually surprised by the number of followers. I was going to. I mean, it's only 457, which is not a lot for a real YouTuber, but it is actually significantly more than I thought we had.
Yeah, and it also appears that 3/4 of them are bots.
That's fine. I'm a fan of the bot. Bring the cows. All the cows need to tune in.
Yeah, back that cow in here.
Yeah, we don't have an HR department, so we can call them that.
Dumb cows.
Oh my goodness.
So
see, I can't even do my titles. We can't even suggest titles, John. It's all on you. Actually, it's on me. I forgot to update the repo. I pulled down the repo and tried to run it on my MacBook, and I realized it's old code.
No.
Yeah.
I will figure out this display issue eventually.
We might not have HR, but your kids are trying to get HR involved in our podcast for some reason.
Oh yeah, they try to fire me on a weekly basis. They sit there and have board meetings and everything. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm like, I'm not having it. Here's the problem we've run into with the whole desktop workstation thing wouldn't even have been an issue. What happened was I was going to take my workstation over to John on Monday. And so I shut it down.
Graphics card is?
Oh, no. I shut it down and I pack it up. And then it occurred to me, I have full disk encryption. I'm like, son of a bitch. I have to give John the password to decrypt the disk so the damn system boots up so I can get to it. So initially, it wasn't even going to be an issue. Like, he wasn't even going to need to have a monitor. He was just going to plug it in. But now, he needs to be able to see when it gets to the prompt for the disk encryption so that he can decrypt my disk so that I can get, so that it'll finish booting into the OS.
Technology, isn't it wonderful? Everything just
Security
works
is
so smoothly.
so convenient to have. So happy to have it.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Christmas ad Lenovo had, where they showed a daughter unlocking her dad's laptop by using his finger while he was sleeping, as if it were cute.
There you go. That's my system. So I recognize that logo screen.
It's working.
Watch him drop the monitor on the computer.
I was like, he's gonna pour his beer on my workstation next.
Oh,
we'll do it live on air. I'll get the bot going here in a second. You got it?
Oh,
It's
nope,
blank.
broke it.
It's blank, John. Oh, all right. Let's see if he's done it. Let me see. Come on, Cloudways. Come on, Cloudways.
Live on the show. Cloudflare.
Cloudflare, do it. Cloudflare is not working for me, John.
Well,
you got the network plugged in?
Yes, I have the network plugged in.
Yeah,
I mean, don't say it like that, John.
plugged into the DVI port.
Hey, I got lights on the hanging thing up there. It's working.
Damn it!
You've got network lights lighting up. It doesn't mean your machine works because it's a POS, but
I'm in. Let's see.
Can't believe I forgot you had a GPU.
PHP
I'm like, hey, look, here's an HDMI port. Oh, look, here's a display port.
Yeah, so just
Why
used
isn't
all the
anything
wrong
working?
all the wrong video outputs available to you.
Yeah.
I gotta get a little. Oh my God! I need my key. Where are the keys? The keys are in the wrong place. Restore. Okay, we're good now. That's the other thing. I'm back to using. I don't have my Kinesis Advantage keyboard anymore. Like, all the keys are in the wrong area.
You can use John's. He doesn't use it.
What are you talking about? It's plugged in right now.
Yeah,
Look,
to
it's how I
Eric's, to Eric's machine.
Well, then I don't understand why it's not working. All right, I got my system going.
You need to kick your third kid off of our Discord /YouTube /everything.
What is that? They're being mean?
Yeah, they're being mean to me.
I encourage that, actually. Discord, prepare yourself for a series of links coming in.
Oh, except for the fact that we did not tell people how to get to Discord at discord.phpugly.com.
Perfect.
Should have done that like an hour ago.
Probably. So
It's our first time doing this. You know, we're new to recording.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out one day.
Something. All right.
That's true. Hey, you're not supposed to give his password out live on Discord. They don't get the Hunter. They don't get the Hunter 2 reference. It doesn't work.
All right. I am like I said, still sick. I am in need of rest. I think we have achieved the unachievable today.
I think we achieved the achievable. We started recording and we're ending recording. Very achievable.
We didn't get to the one ticket that Eric has on his Trello board because he doesn't have enough monitors to remember that Trello is open.
I did one of my tickets. Which one didn't I do?
The JetBrains desktop is now in beta.
Oh,
except we're not supposed to reference other people's tickets.
Yeah, I haven't finished reading that one because there's something. I don't think that's a JetBrains thing. I think that's a third party doing something with JetBrains. So it's not JetBrains, but I have to read it. I don't know enough about it. That's why I'm not talking about it.
Well, that's why we have that rule about me reading other people's tickets.
That's my fault. I couldn't get to Trello quick enough to see what you were talking about. We did hit a couple of mine. So, all right.
Yeah, what you don't know if you're on the edited podcast is that every time Eric says "shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up," he edits that out. So it's about 20 times per podcast where he just goes, "No, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that."
Okay, that's it. Episode 265. It's in the book, ladies and gentlemen. We are approaching the end of 2021. Buckle up.
Thankfully.
Amazingly.
I'm Eric.
I'm John. We got big things coming in 2022.
I'm Tom. I do not have big things in 2022.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all.
So, can't kill that.
I have two teen drivers in the house now. And it is so nice to not have to drive everyone everywhere all of the time.
How's your vehicle working out for you?
Good. All running, fixed, great. There is no fade out for the outro because Windows Movie Maker is such a pain in the ass that just getting the first one edited correctly was all I had in me. All right. I got sideswiped.
Bailing us?
Yeah.
In your new car?
No.
He's talking about Rocket League.
Rocket League.
So,
oh, jeez.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. It's amazing how good people already are at it. But yeah, this is phone Rocket League.
It's a fun little game.
It tears through my battery.
It is. Well, are you on the Pixel 6?
Yeah.
Did you lower your graphics quality?
I did at first, but then they released a patch that fixed that bug.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So with Pixel 6, it was by default it's on super high quality and it would just crash constantly. Actually,
Yeah.
prior to their official release, it worked fine. And then the official release came and I downloaded that and I couldn't get it to run at all. Or it would start up and then immediately crash.
Yeah.
But
No, it's working now.
You don't need this super high quality. Just lower the graphics. It won't eat your battery quite as bad.
I don't know. It is fun, but it's just as frustrating as real Rocket League in smaller 2-minute chunks. Like there's so many times where I'm just like, fuck this, and I just turn it off and put my phone away, and then like go to reach for my water and realize I'm picking up my phone again and starting a new match.
So what rank are you right now?
Silver 3.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at too.
All right.
I think people are actually playing with controllers connected to their phone.
I think I've seen that.
Like they're doing things that you just can't do with the phone interface.
I've seen people in the winning screen circling.
Yeah, doing air rolls.
Yeah, which you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's frustrating. Yeah,
well, I mean, as a longtime PC player playing against console players, it's my comeuppance. All right, I'm gonna sleep, man.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. And we will see you